If I only had 30 days to save my business or go bankrupt, here's exactly how I would use cold email to get paying clients. Most people waste weeks writing emails that never get opened. So I studied how the top agencies use cold outreach to book hundreds of sales calls per month, even in saturated markets. I broke down what works, what doesn't, and built a plan anyone could follow without paying thousands for AI sales agents or leveraging an existing audience, because there's none. So by the end of this video, you'll know the exact cold email systems I would use if I had to start from zero, and you'll know the exact approach that will help you sign your first client. So we have 30 days, a month. So instead of doing everything in one day, checking caffeine and burning out, let's split work evenly into 4 parts. And same with the video, so you could come back to it whenever you need. And we'll start off with week 1, the foundations. Foundations of our cold email will be made up of 4 parts, and we have to ensure to nail them because, well, they're the foundations. We have to set everything up properly in order to have success in the future and scale easily. So everything starts off with defining your ICP, your ideal customer's profile. This is basically the persona of who are you helping and with what. Find new clients? Are you helping clinics systemize their work? Are you helping dog owners train their pups? This is your ICP, the characteristics of your ideal client, the person who is most likely to purchase your services. But we are not done yet. There are a lot more variables that make up your ideal customer's profile. You need to know exactly where your customer is, what is their role, where do they work. Basically, the more information the better, because this will help us to find them when we get to it. So instead of just looking for hairstylists who would like to find new clients, so we go from hairstylists looking for clients to men hairstylists in New York who own 1, 2 to 3 salons, make more than $40,000 a month, and are using Google Ads. All of these characteristics help us validate a client before they even become a lead. The profile we set up helps us filter through people who would not be able to become our clients due to various reasons. Maybe their location is different and you don't speak their language, so you can't run ad campaigns for them, or maybe they don't even have money to pay for your services. Whatever it is, setting up your ideal customer's profile the right way is one of the most important parts. Once you do that, you can go to the next step, infrastructure setup. Infrastructure refers to the domains and mailboxes we'll use for cold email. We want to set them up in the first week because of email warm-up. I'll explain that later. Nowadays, infrastructure setup is super simple. You can purchase Google Workspace or Microsoft accounts and have them set up for cold email in minutes. Same with shared or private infrastructure. It's easy. But once you finish the setup, then comes the important part, email warm-up. Like I said, we want to take care of email warm-up ASAP. That is because email warm-up has to run for at least 2 weeks before we send out any cold emails. Therefore, if we want to sign our first client in a month, we already lose half of it to warm-up. And if we don't start the warm-up early, well, we'll lose our precious time. Warm-up is also super easy to do nowadays. Just connect the mailboxes you created to any proper cold email warm-up software and you're good to go. Make sure the software has features like unspam, mailbox placement tests, domain health checks. If it does, you're good to go. And the last thing we want to do for week 1 is do some homework. Now this step is optional because later on I'll share how to actually avoid all of this work and use software to help us. But if you want to do it manually, you'll need to do some homework in order to create a great offer, because you can't win sales without a clear offer. And to make a great offer, you need 4 things: claim, time frame, proof, and risk reversal. Basically, in the claim, you share what you will get for your prospect, the value of working with you. In the time frame, you share how long it will take to see the results. Proof shows that you know what you're doing. This could be testimonials or case studies. And risk reversal shares a guarantee that if everything still fails, the client will not lose anything, maybe a full refund. You need to nail these things down for your product or service, and when you do, you're ready to go to the week 2. Week 2 is all about building the list of people you'll be reaching out to, and week 2 consists of 2 main parts. First part is finding the right people. This is known as lead sourcing. You've probably seen countless videos on YouTube saying, here's how to generate leads, here's how to scrape any website. That is what we'll be doing here. Lead sourcing is one of the most important parts of cold email, because you could have amazing deliverability, great message, and a lovely product, but if you're reaching out to the wrong people, no one will buy. That's why we wanted to spend the extra time setting up our ideal customer's profile. Having clear description of our ideal client will help us pinpoint exactly where and how we should get the leads. Should we buy lists, share lead magnets, scrape leads, or use lead databases? Well, it depends on the kinds of leads you need, but of course, I won't leave you hanging. Let me share the most common options that will help 99% of you to find the exact leads you're looking for. First and easiest is using lead databases. You can use apps like Apollo.io to filter down and find the exact leads you're looking for. You can use Salesforge to simply chat with the interface and get leads that way. Or you can use LinkedIn Sales Navigator. The database you choose primarily depends on the leads you're looking for. Second, cheapest option, basically free, is scraping leads. You could do so by scraping local businesses from Google Maps, scraping Instagram profiles from Google Search, collecting apps from Product Hunt with a Chrome extension, so on and so forth. Wherever your leads are, you can scrape them. School, Facebook groups, whatever. But even if you buy or scrape leads, you can't just reach out to them. You need more info. You need something to leverage, like a pain point or a relatable thing that you could mention so the prospect feels like you're writing personally to them. You need extra information so later on you could craft personalized messages. And we get that information by something called enrichment. Lead enrichment is the act of populating your lead list with extra data about your leads. This could be phone numbers, LinkedIn profiles, URLs, website descriptions about the lead. It could be any useful data that you could use to personalize your message or reach out on other channels. Most of the time, if you use apps like Salesforge or Apollo, you will already have all of this information. But if you're scraping leads yourself, you might want to use enrichment platforms like Clay or Full Enrich to find more data. Honestly, if you made it this far, give yourself a pat on the back. Most people fail here. They get overwhelmed and think that lead quality doesn't matter as much. But it does. You cannot take a shortcut. There are no faster ways. People often fail because they just decide to switch quality with quantity. Oh, I'll just reach out to more people. And while this works in theory, everything crumbles in practice. By reaching out to everyone and anyone, you destroy your email infrastructure reputation. You waste money on leads that will never buy your products. And I can't stress this enough. Take time to get high quality leads. Do not spray and pray. Better lists always equal better replies. You'll thank yourself for it. Okay, we are now on week 3, one of the most important weeks. Yes, I've been saying most important for every part of this video. I know, but it is super important. Week 3 is all about writing and sending emails. Or is it? You see, there are 2 ways to approach this. You can either take the information you got by enriching your lead list and use it to write personalized messages, crafting messages that interrupt the pattern, get open, have personalization so the prospect actually reads, mention a relatable struggle, and a valuable solution with a soft call to action. You can do all of that and then A/B test different copies and subject lines with rich syntax. Or you could let AI do all that for you. Yes, with cold email evolving so fast, it's near impossible for people who are just starting out to catch up. You need to have years of knowledge on copywriting, how to get people to reply. So why stress now, especially when we're trying to get clients in a month? I always think finished is better than perfect, and this is the case here as well. And even though AI will most likely outperform 99% of us, if you choose to, you can run extra manual campaigns after you're comfortable, not when you're in dire need of clients. Using AI to write for us and handle messaging will not only improve our deliverability and reply rate, but will also save us hours of time on researching, writing, and will help us scale when it's time. And we'll avoid all the struggles because it follows the best email sending practices. Now, problem is, most AI tools write crap messages. They're just simple ChatGPT prompts that sound awful. That's exactly why we enriched our leads with information like website and LinkedIn profile URL, because we'll use Salesforge's hyper-personalization feature to write relevant and personal emails to each lead. Salesforge combines information about your product with information about your prospect to ensure the message speaks directly to the person. It touches their most painful pain points, shares their desires, so they have no option but to talk to you and buy your product. It's a brilliant tool for those who are starting out or those who are tired of slaving away and want to scale with real volume. Congratulations, we are almost done. Let me share the last 2 things you need to ensure to make sure our cold email structure works for years to come and keep booking sales calls. First are follow-ups. Follow-ups are emails you send after the initial email, before or after a prospect has replied but hasn't taken a step to book a sales call. There are a lot of types of follow-ups, but you should always try to lead with value. Share testimonials, free resources, checklists, any valuable information that builds credibility. Send up to 2 follow-ups and then stop. You don't want to spam your prospects. Unless they're interested, then follow up until they say yes or no. Be persistent but not spammy. And another thing is mailbox management. You'll be getting a ton of replies if you do this right. And the most important thing is to reply quickly, or you risk losing the lead. And to reply quickly, either set up auto reply draft feature in apps like Salesforge or check your mailboxes constantly. To make this easier, choose a cold email sending software that has something called a Prime Box. Prime Box is one place where all of your email conversations come together from different mailboxes. Remember, you'll have like 10, 20 or even more mailboxes. Logging into each and every single one of them is silly, and we want to make this as efficient as possible. If you follow this right, you now have a ton of replies and booked sales calls. But here's the harsh truth. None of that matters if you don't know how to close. Most people bomb the sales call because they don't know these sales closing tricks. So if you actually want to turn replies into clients, watch this next.